Welcome to Round Glass. I'm Tatum Barnes, and thank you for joining me for this meditation on the wisdom of children, ants on a log. The goal here and now is for every one of you, every one of us, to reclaim a child's perspective on our meditation practice. Before I talk a little bit more about my experience working with youth, or what we're going to do in just a few minutes, I would love to hear from you. So, if you feel so called, please, in the chat below, I'd love to hear what's a childlike quality that you cherish. If you think about what it was like to be a child, or perhaps if you're lucky enough to be around a child in your life right now, what's something about their character, about their person that you admire? Maybe not the messiness or the emotional instability, but a positive quality. Reflect on that for a moment. Now, as a youth worker, I am constantly inspired by children. I'm inspired by the imagination of little ones, of the resilience and the grit of teenagers, of the independence and the autonomy of those young adults, those college-age students. And right now I'm lucky enough to be working at a summer camp, so I see the full gamut of human development right before me. And it is inspiring. It is absolutely inspiring to see children turn 2 hula hoops into a tank, or just a handful of blocks into a whole set of patio furniture. But something that I'm really impressed by is children's capacity to find the miraculous in the mundane. Children's capacity to find joy in moments that we would just miss entirely. Just today, I saw a little girl, maybe 6 or 7 years old, running through a field in just what seemed like ecstasy. For what reason? Because she was running. There wasn't a ball, there wasn't a game, it was just running. And the joy that this human being was experiencing was inspiring. It really was. When we listen to the teachers of many traditions, we often hear the same message, which is be inspired by children. Have a child's mind when you live life. Have a child's mind when you meditate. What comes to me most strongly is from a Buddhist perspective, or a Zen Buddhist perspective, something that tells us to have a beginner's mind, to not be so locked into our intellect or the idea that I'm an adult, I know things. If we are able to greet life, greet our meditation as if we are brand new to the experience, brand new to the earth, then we are able to dive that much deeper into ourselves. And if you follow more of a Christian perspective, I'm sure that you will recognize Christ telling us to be more like children, and that children are going to inherit the kingdom of God. From many, many other cultures, elders and teachers and masters have reflected on these childlike qualities and have attempted to teach the more hard-headed adults to not let go of that. And perhaps I can do my little part to impart that to you all here and now. And as I start to tilt my attention towards the chat, I'll just provide a little bit of context for those who are tuning in perhaps for the second, third, or fourth time. Welcome to my reality. This is the life beyond the green screen. No, I do not live in a beautiful glass mansion. Welcome to my humble abode. And for those of you that are just joining me, you can check out my old meditations to see what our amazing tech team was able to put behind us. But it's just a plant and some pine. Welcome. Now, as for those beautiful childlike qualities, I see ease, fearlessness, curiosity, laughter, enthusiasm, and being teachable. I wish that all of the children that I worked with were also teachable. It's amazing how quickly we calcify. But absolutely, I think about the joy, the laughter, the ease of life, the endless curiosity as we begin to learn things, that enthusiasm, that joie de vivre, that's what we're talking about. And if you feel like you are missing a little bit of that in your life or in your meditation practice, then you are in the right place. In just a moment, we are going to let our bodies relax. We're going to give our minds a moment to digest our day so that we may really focus in our meditation. We're going to ground, really feel the ground beneath our body. We'll use our imagination, a beautiful gift from childhood. And if you haven't used yours in a little bit, don't worry, it comes back like that. It's like riding a bike. And we are going to be playful in this meditation. Pardon me. I invite you to, if you can, conjure up that childlike perspective, that little boy, that little girl, that little human that is thrilled just to see a blue car or an airplane in the sky. It may feel a little bit silly as you start to peel back that adult comportment, but I know inside each and every one of you is that wide-eyed person. So even though I invite you to close your eyes in this meditation, I invite you to conjure that spirit of wide eyes. Enough. Without any further ado, I encourage you to let your body do whatever it needs to do to be comfortable. So letting it stretch around, crack out if it needs to, scratch that last itch. If you're wearing your work clothes still, I encourage you to take your belt off or pop the button off your belt, letting the belly be soft. When the body seems comfortable, I invite you to take a meditation posture with your spine long but relaxed. Beautiful. Feeling the vertebra align, feeling the head over the neck, over the shoulders. I invite you to close your eyes if you feel comfortable, or to invite a soft gaze somewhere out in front of you. And slowly you begin to breathe normally. And I encourage you to watch your breath. And treat this like your very first meditation. It could be your thousandth, but let this be your first. Just watching your breath. And see how your breath is today. Is it a strong breath? Is it a thin breath? Get to know it. You can even say hello to your breath. And however your breath greets you here and now, see if you can make it a little bit deeper. Sending the oxygen further into the belly, marveling at how much lung you have. They're huge. As your mind begins to wander, as minds do, you gently bring it back to your focus, watching your breath move in and out. And as you breathe deeply, keeping this calm, I encourage you to picture everything that you've already done today. Not judging or moving too much into detail, but rather flipping through the memories like pages in a storybook. As you read to yourself the story of the day. letting your inner eyes be wide. Letting the images and the moments float to the back of the head as you scan them. And at your own pace, you come to shift your awareness to wherever your body makes contact with the ground beneath you. Paying attention to sit bones and shin bones and ankles. Looking upon these parts of your body as if you are just greeting them for the first time. Whoa. You have this physical body, and it's pretty cool. See if you can explore, like those little scientists, that sensation of the ground pushing up at you. Exploring that force of normal for the physicists out there, that normal force. Can you feel it? Breathe deeply and appreciate how the ground just holds you here. It's miraculous. Focusing and refocusing. As the body twitches or the mind wanders off, now you bring it back to your body. Held in place. Beautiful. Here and now, I ask you to utilize your imagination and powers of visualization. And we'll do something fun here. I invite you to picture yourself wearing a pair of red boots. That's right. Going with whatever your imagination gives to you first. There are no wrong boots, folks. See them clearly on your feet. You can make them violet if that is more your color. What matters is that you are giving it detail and ascribing to it reality. Letting that inner child marvel and giggle at whatever your mind has created, no matter how silly or unstylish, you see it. Noticing the style, the make. Look at you, well done. I want you to take that color and begin to invite it into your toes, using your imagination to playfully work its way into your toes. You can see it swirling like smoke or zigzagging up the toe through the arches of the feet. It could be blossoming like flowers as it moves into your ankle, and we pause here. Take a deep breath in. And in the ankle, we pause to collect any tension that may be living in the joint. So with your mind, you can collect any tension in your ankle. With your focus, you can move your awareness around the ankle like a knife in an almost empty jar of jelly. You're scraping the sides and collecting any anxiety or stress in the foot. You're letting it grow. There's some. And on your next exhale, you let that drop. Whew. And it drops through your boots and into the earth. You say goodbye. That's right, that your inner child can wave it goodbye, no worries. We're going to invite that energy, that color to playfully rise up the shins and through the knees. I encourage you to use your imagination as you begin to find your way up behind the kneecaps. And once more, we spread ourselves here, collecting any tension in the kneecaps, but also any sadness or heaviness that may be carrying, that may be weighing us down. If there's anything that's been causing you to frown recently, you call it to mind now. Gathering and regathering. Seeking it out, searching it out, calling it out. There it is. Letting it grow. And on a big exhale, you let that drop, waving it goodbye as it leaves through the boots that you are still wearing. Finally, see that energy, play with that energy, coax it from the knees, through the thighs, into the hips, and into the pelvis, where we spread our awareness for the last time. Here we collect any tension, any static in the body, and also anything that's been making you mad. You bring that to mind. The frustrations, the annoyances, the injustices. Scraping the sides, getting it all. A little bit more. And as it reaches a peak, you let it all drop, letting everything rush out of your legs. Imagining like a water slide through your legs, letting everything get carried down and out. You hold on to nothing. Well done. I encourage you, as we stand in our own pelvis, use your imagination to get on the jungle gym, climb up those monkey bars through the belly, climb up that structure, climb up your castle, use your imagination, make your way up, up, up through the sternum, and find yourself in your heart center. Take a deep breath here as if it were your first. And I encourage you to be a scientist unto yourself, to just notice the sensations. What is here for you? What is it like to breathe into this part of your body, to focus your mind here? focusing and refocusing. I invite you to give your heart permission to be soft. And with your awareness, with like your mind's hands, I encourage you to play with the heart substance, massaging it loose. I don't know when the last time you worked with Play-Doh, but it's a fantastic invention. So as if the heart were Play-Doh, just begin to work with it. Moving the hands of your awareness through it, shaping it, relaxing it, spreading it out. Letting any tension you find rush through the body and through the legs, out through your boots. If you've lost that spirit of awe and newness and wonder, sprinkle that newness around your heart. Find that wide-eyed expression within yourself once more. Whoa, you're here. There are textures within you. There's light within you. What is it? What can be done with it? What happens if you step deeper? A few more deep breaths. Well done. Now, with the gentleness of waking a toddler up from a nap or perhaps putting one down, bring your awareness back to your physical body. Slow, with kindness. You bring your awareness back to fingertips and toes, giving them a little wiggle, letting them wake, moving the movement into ankles and wrists, letting the body come back to its space. At your own pace, you open your eyes, and welcome back. With this meditation and all meditations, we want to take a brief moment to compare the before and after picture. Think about how you came into this practice and now how you are feeling. Hopefully a little bit brighter. That bright-eyed sensation is something that I feel now that I look around at the lights and the cameras before me and think, this is cool. This is really cool. Hopefully you feel a little bit of centered, calm, grounding. Thank you so much for joining us. Now, if you have any questions about the practice that we just did, about the virtue of children, youth work, or meditation in general, I encourage you to let me know in the chat. Or if there's anything that was difficult or didn't work for you, let me know in the chat. I'd love to hear from you. And while those things are coming in, or if those things are not working at all, I'll start to think about any homework that I can give my students. It's the trapping of being a youth worker. One question that's come to me is, how can I reignite my imagination when I've gotten into the habit of thinking it's a waste of time? It's a great question. Let me tap in to see if I can give you something more than just a knee-jerk. I would appeal to your adult sense of industriousness, of that sense that, we as adults, we want to make something of ourselves. We want to be successful. So if you read up on a lot of the more successful human beings on this planet, they use their imagination to visualize their best outcomes. They see the future that they want to create. They have a vision. We talk about these amazing entrepreneurs. Well, they're visionaries. And a visionary is a fancy grown-up word to someone who uses their imagination very well. So if we can trick the adult mind into thinking, hey, the imagination is a useful tool, then the floodgates will open. Then you can start to do simple imagination exercises to open up that mentality once more. Right now, I asked you to picture red boots. I'm curious, if you have nothing else to write in the chat, just let me know what your boots look like. Mine were cowboys. You can picture your red boots. You can imagine an object and rotate it in your mind just to knock the cobwebs off. Those little exercises will allow you to accomplish a lot. And ultimately, manifest your vision on Earth, which is what we're working to do. Another question that's come to me, and thank you for that first question. Do you think childlike play is an important part of adult recuperation? Absolutely. Now, what childlike play looks like is going to change depending on who you are as an adult, your capabilities, because we're not all going to be hurtling down a slide like we once were. Are you kidding me? Like, you'd be feeling that for a week. But recreation is a human right and a human need. So this is nerdy, but I've gotten into playing a lot of chess recently. I learned when I was a kid, and working at this camp, I was shocked to see how so many elementary school students are still playing chess. And now I come home, and for a little recreation, I play a few games of chess. It keeps me sharp. It's fun. I get to talk to other people about chess. I get to learn, be a part of a community. It's fun. Go on a walk and skip stones. Play ball, or darts, or whatever. All of that is so good for our mental health. It keeps us young at heart, and it keeps our minds flexible. So I absolutely think it's crucial. Great question. My boots are rain boots. Rain boots will do the trick. There were no wrong boots. All red boots are right boots, and I'm glad that you love stomping through puddles. It's moments like that can really bring you back to that childlike perspective. Those silly things that seem like they don't have any utility. It's good for the soul. It's good for your heart. Stomp in a puddle. Next time you see a ladybug, just say hi. Things like that. It's good. Why is this meditation called Ants on a Log? Two things come to mind. One, I think there's like a classic axiom of like a student and a teacher on a log. And it seems like when we think about our teachers, they're the big ones. They're the old ones. They're the elders who have seen it and done it before. But in this series, I want you to learn from the little things. I want you to learn from the little ones. I want you to learn from the ants. Not the aunts, not your parents' sisters, but the little ones. You know what I'm talking about. And the other thing that comes to mind is, I can't tell you how often the kids are just watching ants. It's really cool. Go look at some ants sometimes. They're astounding. That's less important, I think. But with that, I will say that is all the time that I have. Thank you so much for joining us here and now. And for, as always, sharing this time together is such a joy. Thank you. Please continue to explore meditation with us. Check out our daily live meditations at round.glass. Check out our app, Check out my profile to see when I'm going live next and my course dropping sometime in September. I'm so excited. And until next time, have fun and stay blessed. Peace.